All right, Big Bang. Today is Tuesday. It's May 6th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Snake Draft Tuesday. Today we will be drafting pop culture in 1996, as you saw in the description. We're joined on Zoom. White Sox Dave's still in Italy, so Trent is here. Reags is here. Nate is here. Reags, you first. How are you?
Good, man. How's everyone doing? I'm pumped. I think I'm the second oldest of this group, so I'm curious to see what everyone remembers.
Let's do ages. Yeah, Reags, age?
38.
Nate?
Oh, wow. I'm 36. I thought I was going to be the elder statesman.
Trent?
36.
Chief?
39. There was some slander going around that I had turned 40, but it's not true.
And I am 34. So, All right, so we're all kind of in a great spot as far as this draft goes. I'm probably at the biggest disadvantage.
I remember all of it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like prime starting to remember the details of everything.
Really? Because I don't really remember that much from 94. I feel like I remember a lot from 96. So
I was born in 88, and I think 96 is one of the first vivid years that I have where everything I looked up and researched, I was having great nostalgia. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
I was definitely feeling that for the music. Ton of great songs. Big year for female artists in 1996.
Oh, brother. When I was going down YouTube rabbit holes last night, looking up the songs, I was playing full songs. It's a great year of female musicians.
Yeah, I was born in 89, and I think the first year I remember a lot of things was probably 98. But then as I started to go through all the 96 stuff, you get flashes of it, of those things happening. I will say, as I was going through stuff that happened in 1996, it's a great year. And I understand, Eddie, why you picked it after you texted me. I was like, why are we doing 1996? And then you start to go through it, and 1996 is an incredible year in terms of pop culture, music, movies, all of it. So I'm very excited to do this.
I appreciate that. I wish I could say more went into it, but I kind of just threw a dart because I knew we'd all be in the same ballpark. So I think it ended up being a good year, but it was all by luck. But thank you. I appreciate that anyways.
Well done.
All right, then. It will be, I should say the categories. It will be one song, one movie, one sports thing. Okay, it could be a team, it could be a moment. There's kind of left it open-ended. One biggest story, and then one fad. Fad is kind of hard, so I'm interested to see how liberal we're going to be with that.
Fad is
I think
hard.
that's okay, yeah.
Yeah. That was by far the toughest I had of what counts.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Nate asked me if a song was released in 95 and it charted in 96. Does that count? I said no. It had to have released in 96. So, does this have to be released in 96? What's technically the definition of fad? I don't know, but we'll get into it.
Okay.
All right.
Wow, you look like you had something. You had some concerns.
Oh, when I looked at fads, I think it's impossible to pinpoint the exact, it could be December 95 or, January 96. Fads, I think, are
fads
songs have days. Fads are more on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. What did you say? What did you recommend? And I was like, you recommended TV. And I was like, TV gets too blurry. Seinfeld, Simpsons, all those span.
Yeah.
So you can't really
especially a season starts in November and ends in April or whatever.
That gets too blurry. So we'll see. I think this is a good topic, though. Maybe we'll do more. Maybe we'll clean it up, but we'll see how it goes. All right, we'll get into it. Lance has number 1 through 5 behind his back. Reags, what number is it?
3.
No.
Trent, what number is it?
4.
No.
Nate, what number is it?
It's 1.
It's not.
Chief.
2.
2, correct.
I'll go first.
Wow.
Oh, so you think there's a 1-1?
I don't think there's a hard 1-1, but my fad category is pretty slim.
Okay.
So I'm just going to knock that out.
Because I think there's a tier of ones, but there's no.
I think I know what Chief is doing here.
I think I do too.
I don't think I know. I don't think I know.
1 through 4 to me. 3.
No.
Reags.
2.
No.
Nate.
It's 1.
No.
All right, Trent.
I forgot what numbers have been said.
Oh,
That's
no.
a disaster.
Oh no.
2.
No.
4.
4, correct.
Damn,
God
Trent.
damn it.
I'm
I
going.
gotta lock in here.
I'm gonna take 3. 1 through 3. Reags.
3.
No.
Nate.
It's 1.
There it is. Yep.
right.
There.
2, 4, or 5. Nate.
I'm gonna go 4.
1 or 2. Trent.
1.
No.
2.
Reags. All right. You want 2 or 5?
I'll take the wraparound. I'll take 5.
All right. So the order is Chief, Trent, Eddie, Nate, Reags.
All right, but before we get started, I want to talk to you guys about our favorite ticketing app, GameTime. David, you're on GameTime.
I'm on GameTime. I know you and Ed are using it tonight to go to the Cubs games. I
Yep.
would love to join you, but I don't enter into that complex. However, I do enter into the Salt Shed, and we're into Salt Shed season. So I'm going to be using GameTime like once or twice a week.
All summer long.
For the rest of summer.
Great concerts. I used it to get Stavros tickets at Chicago Theater
There we
a couple
go.
weeks ago. And if you are lucky enough to be in a market where you have NHL playoffs, GameTime is the only place you need to go. The NHL playoffs are here. Get on them. Get those hard-to-get playoff tickets through GameTime. They are the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest price guarantee. GameTime takes the guesswork out of everything when you're buying NHL playoff tickets or any tickets. Prices on the app actually go down closer to puck drop or first pitch or whatever. You can save up to 60% when buying last-minute tickets. We always get steals. Like we have great seats tonight for the Cubs for $60. And maybe you're a Maple Leafs fan and you're sitting out there. You're in Maple Leaf Square where all those sad people are every year. Maybe you just say, hey, you know what? I'm getting on GameTime. We're 15 minutes out. You get in, you walk in, you have an experience of a lifetime. So get in on GameTime. What are you waiting for? I'm getting the Cubs tickets. I wish I could get hockey tickets maybe next year for the Blackhawks. So just take the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code DOGWALK for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DOGWALK, DOGWALK for $20 off. Download that app today. What time is it?
GameTime.
GameTime.
Without further ado, Chief, lead us off. The 1996 pop culture draft. What's wrong, Nate?
I'm just nervous. I don't think there's a 1-1, and Chief is like, I need number 1, and I don't.
That's not what I said. I said I think there are deep categories. Fads for me is not one of them. So I want to get a fad, and then I feel like I'll still be in a good spot for the rest of the draft. This is about value. And with that, I'm going to take Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
So Beanie Babies, I think the fad lasted longer than just 1996, but it really kicked off in 1996.
Did it, though? Because I had trouble finding that. I'm not vetoing. I think this is a hard category, but can you tell me why?
I was deep in research in this. Chief is right. Last night, Beanie Babies was on my list. It said 96 is when they partnered with McDonald's.
That's
okay.
pretty
Yeah,
big.
I'm not saying it's wrong, but I couldn't find out where if it's like, is that just a whole 90s thing, which it kind of was, but like.
So
tell me why that was
what I
peak.
read was that they had the partnership with McDonald's in 96. The peak of like the craze where people were selling them for like $50,000 or whatever was in like 97 and 98, and then it went away quickly, but it really was going strong in 1996. So Beanie Baby.
The McDonald's teeny Beanie Babies, I remember like sitting in the drive-thru for so long to try to get one. We were definitely when the McDonald's game at McDonald's and the teeny Beanie Babies at McDonald's, we kept McDonald's afloat in the Nathan household.
Yeah, no, it was definitely on my list, so I think it for sure counts. But we were not a Beanie Baby family. I don't know if anybody here, like, were your parents like waking up at 3 a.m. and knocking on the store window, like waiting to get in? Like that kind of missed us. To me, they were always just stuffed animals that I didn't understand why they had any value.
I didn't really.
I had like 3.
I didn't have any, I don't think, of my own, but I have a sister who's 2 years older and a sister who's 3 years younger, and they had dozens of them.
Wow.
I still have, I guess, at my parents' house, a shoebox full of Beanie Babies, a couple shoeboxes. I probably had a couple dozen.
You could bring that back around. I bet you could drive up the value of those somehow. Like if Beanie Babies came back in 2025, that's something I think could catch fire.
Is that like my shit coins, like what Dave is doing?
Yeah, honestly, you you should look into those.
I mean, sports cards had to come back.
They did.
That's-
Huge.
Yeah.
I don't understand that either, though.
Sports cards? Well,
I don't understand why they came back.
pretty simple because back in the
COVID.
day, they used to mass produce them. And
Yeah.
the companies would print so many of them that they were just a dime a dozen.
I get it. I used to
And
be.
now they are numbering them, so there's a finite number of cards.
That's all well and good, but it's like, who cares?
Well, it's memorabilia. People like memorabilia.
Yeah, I guess I'm not. I used to have like binders of
Oh, yeah.
cards, and like I just gave them all to my nephew, and then he'd be like, "Who's this guy?" I'd be like, "That's Junior Seau." Like, you know, like
There's also something to physical media, like when records are back too. Like people
Yeah.
like to hold things. Like as stupid as that sounds, I think that's a big part of it. People like everything is so on the internet, the songs, the email, like everything, where you just want to hold something, and that you only can establish value when other people are like, "That's valuable to me." So all of us being like, "I like cards again," that's where the value comes from, I guess.
Dude, it was
I have a
NBA
record player, but I get like a card. You're just like, I have this card. Like he doesn't do anything.
I think it was NBA Top Shot, like the NFTs, and people went like crazy for those. And I think the sports cards companies were like, "Oh, wait, are we back?" So they just started printing cards again. And then I remember during COVID, cards just like became super, super, super popular because people just sat in their house opening cards all day.
I mean, it is cool to a degree. Like, everyone's going nuts looking for that Paul Skeens card. Like, everyone's breaking packs or they're filming themselves, going through it. You celebrate when you get a big one. There is, I get what you're saying, like, oh, it just sits on a desk. But the hobby of searching for treasure, so to speak, is kind of
Yeah, but it also feels like one of those, like NFTs had the same thing where it's just like, oh, these are worth $100,000, and then like,
well, yeah. If you hate that, then you definitely hate NFTs. That's just clicking on a web browser and looking at it on a computer.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. What was it? What was the monkey one?
Like
Bored
ape?
Ape.
Bored Ape.
Bored Ape.
Yeah,
Bored Ape.
Yeah. I never understood.
If you're looking for, it came out in 2021. It's called Beanie Mania. It's a great doc on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Ty Warner, I think he's like
He's from here.
He's like the 5th richest guy in Illinois, or like something like that. He's like it's like him, our governor, and like a couple other people are just like the richer than rich.
Yeah.
Guy doesn't do interviews. No one knows much about him.
He's from Naperville, right?
Naperville, yeah. I think he lives in Oak Park. He's like he's definitely a Mount Rushmore of white whales I'd love to have on the show. The Beanie Baby guy. So yeah, good pick. Beanie Babies were fucking fad.
Yeah.
Trent.
All right. I'm going to go with a movie, and it's a pretty deep category, although I think a few of these categories are pretty deep. But I'm still going to go with a movie because I want it. Happy Gilmore, 1996. You know, obviously an incredible movie. They got a second one coming out in the next couple of months. It stands the test of time. I don't know if anybody here has given it a rewatch recently, but it's just as funny now as it was, 30 years ago. So, again, the movie category I think is pretty deep, but I just wanted to make sure I got Happy Gilmore. And yeah, you almost don't have to explain it, but it's such a great movie that I had to pick it.
Nobody can poo-poo you for taking Happy Gilmore.
I thought that was closest to a 1-1 that we had, honestly.
That was
Before-
my number one movie, but just because that's the one I've watched the most, like the most. It's almost 30 years later, and it's still quotable and getting remade. Like, yeah, it's
Sequel.
It's up there.
Not a remake, a sequel.
Or sequel, yeah.
Sequel.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore's a good movie.
Yeah, it was on my list for sure. I love Happy Gilmore.
It's a deep category, though, Trent.
It's also the year that he founded Happy. What is it? The year of the production studio.
Happy Madison.
Happy Madison. Yeah, was founded in '96.
No, it is a deep category, Eddie, and the category actually isn't that deep to me because I only wanted Happy Gilmore. There's a lot of good movies that came out in '96, but for me, it was a one thing category. So
Fair.
Fair enough.
Fair.
okay.
All right, it's to me. Man, there's 3 things I really want. There's 3 things I really want, and I'm not.
Do you think you'll get 2 of them here?
I'm taking the one you're not taking. I'll tell you that.
What does it have to do with, Nate?
Don't tip anything, Nate. Let him squirm. Let him twist.
Okay, I won't say anything.
Do not tip your pitches here.
I'm not.
Oh my God, Nate, fuck you, because you were a concern in this draft. So I guess I have to do it. I guess I have to burn it. And I guess I have to go against, like, I have the picking of a very, very famous sports thing, but I'm going to have to take Hogan Turns Heel. For sports.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
Yeah, I think, I mean, Nate and Reags, you're a wrestling guy too. So to Chief, this is like a foreign language. Are you a wrestling guy, Trent?
I am not.
But like to you two guys, like it's hard to put into words how much it meant when Hulk Hogan turned into a bad guy, and the way they did it. Still one of the best clips. The third man, the trash in the ring. It was truly like top Mount Rushmore wrestling moment. Period.
Oh, I think without a doubt.
Yeah, I would say for this draft, I think it doesn't have first round value. I was kind of shocked to hear you say that.
Okay, that's fine. I think they're
is that a wild take for me?
I mean, I looking at sports, I didn't think sports was that deep either, to be honest with you. So I think it's definitely a first round sports pick, in my opinion. But obviously, you're entitled to your opinion. I think it was such a big deal. And wrestling was at the height of its powers in 1996 for sure. Like this is right when WCW was like cooking with gas, and this is kind of what set it off. So
yeah, the Monday Night War starting.
Yeah, like this was the turning point for all of that. So
the only reason I would argue against that being a first round pick is because there's two guys in the draft who don't follow wrestling.
Yeah, and they're gonna hold it against me. I know Chief will.
And Nate said that he wouldn't take it. So
that's fine. I think it's a Mount Rushmore wrestling moment. So if you can't say it's to take it in the first round, then I don't know. You don't think it's a Mount Rushmore wrestling moment? Period. Nate?
It probably is, yeah.
Yeah. So then I think it's a first rounder. If it's a Mount Rushmore, wrestling's a fucking long thing. But all right.
Because it also transcended sports, right? It's TV as much as it is sports.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan's the biggest star, biggest wrestler ever. All right, Nate, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to go with a movie that I thought Trent was going to take, but I'm glad that he took Happy Gilmore because I had that as my 2, and I had my 1 movie, generational movie. You watch it every year on July 4th. Will Smith at his finest, Independence Day. Woo!
It's a good one.
Elite.
Thank you.
Elite. I saw it in the theaters when I was 10. Walked out. I'm like, that's the greatest movie that's ever been
Yes.
made.
Yeah.
I saw it in Virginia Beach with my mom, and on whatever July 4th week was, whenever it came out, and I agree, Chief. I said, that is cinema. That is film.
It was also like terrifying.
Yeah, like that alien, the one scene with the alien that's all
Really.
squirmy and wet that everyone remembers. That in the theater, I was like, no, I don't want to see this on a big screen.
Or when he gets like the scientist and he starts like talking with his vocal cords so the thing's wrapped around him. And,
Release me.
yeah, release me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Great movie. I was also, upon doing this research, surprised to find out that Fresh Prince ended that year. So that's interesting.
Then
The
Will
boy
Smith
became
took off, man.
Yeah, the boy became a man. Although Bad Boys did come out in '95. So what a stretch. Was Will Smith the coolest man alive? '95 he did Bad Boys. '96 he did Independence Day. And '97 he did Men in Black.
That was a great.
I think outside of athletes, yeah.
He did Bad Boys while doing Fresh Prince?
Yeah, apparently. Which like is weird to me, right? You think of him as like a boy in that, and then
Right.
Bad Boys, he's like a big time detective.
Yeah, he was a college kid in that, right?
In Bad Boys?
At the end of Fresh Prince.
The end of Fresh Prince, yeah, because his
He was
girlfriend works in like the student lobby or whatever.
Yeah.
The bookstore.
Yeah, I guess I can't like in my brain think about the end of Fresh Prince. I certainly know the early stuff, but like I don't know. Like, did it drag at the end? And people were like, all right, let's finish this thing, or what?
I don't remember. I vividly remember and it's a meme now where he's standing in the room that's all empty.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tale as old as time, though. Like people get into TV shows and then they just get too big for them.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Will Smith, '97 Big Willie Style came out. Then he just had like #1 movies and #1 songs at the same time.
It's a titan of the '90s, Will Smith.
Getting jiggy
Miami,
with
what a great song.
it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Coming to Miami.
Wild Wild West.
That movie sucked.
No, with the song with it.
Yeah.
Isn't that the famous thing? He turned down being Neo in The Matrix so he could make Wild Wild West.
I think so.
He did turn down Neo. I don't know if it was because of that, but
Oh, I didn't know he turned down.
turned down Neo. Yeah.
And he would have been a great Neo.
He would have been.
I have a special place in my heart for Wild Wild West. I really like that movie.
Chris Klein.
I kind of do too.
It's pretty good. The beginning when they're in the water tower, that got me going when I was a kid. She's naked and she's floating around. It's like, this is good stuff right now. I'm enjoying this.
I want people to
remember that.
rewatch it and appreciate it like Trent appreciates it.
I agree.
Reags, you're up.
All right, so you can tell me. I'm not sure if I can take this as a whole and if it's sports or news, but the '96 Olympics.
I think one thing was newsworthy, and then I think
The other was sports.
the other
Okay,
rest
so
of
that's what I was going to ask because
You have to pick an event.
that's what I wanted to ask. Could I just take it as a whole or by event?
I think it has to be an event, right?
I'm fine with you just taking the Olympics as 96.
You take the Olympic Games, but then I think there's another thing that happened that's
Kind of what I'm asking. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Then can me for sports take an event that happened during the Olympic Games?
Which event?
I assumed that the sports event would be something specific that happened during the Olympics.
That's what I'm kind of curious to see. Yeah, like I'm fine either way. If I could have taken obviously the entire Olympics, and
I only remember like one.
there's two major sports events from the Olympics that I can think of that I had.
I think you have to take a specific.
I agree. And then you'll be able to figure out which category, whether it's sports or
Okay.
story.
Right.
Okay. That changes a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go with the fad because I don't think there's a lot there. I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna take Nintendo 64. It was released in '96. It is still the greatest video console of all time. I'm 38 and I still play it with my friends because they have it in the back of their car for their kids, and we play Mario Kart and make the wives drive. So it's Nintendo 64. It is still, like I said, the greatest video game console of all time.
It's a great pick.
Really strong. I mean, I remember, this is something I do remember vividly from 96 is getting the N64 for Christmas. Like we got it as like a family gift. Like it wasn't that I got it or my brother. It was like now the family has an N64, and that was Wave Race 64 was like blowing my mind.
Cruising USA,
all that stuff, and then there's great like Zelda. Ocarina of Time is the greatest game in the world to me ever. But yeah, the N64 is like you said. If I go back home and me and my buddies are hanging out, someone might break out the N64, and it's amazing. So. I think it's a really, really strong pick.
Me and Chief just had like war flashbacks when you brought up Ocarina of Time because Dave's not here, because every time that game's mentioned, it's
section off in a good 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, the water temple is the hardest thing that anyone has ever tried to accomplish, especially when you're 8 years old and they're like, here, do this really complicated level in this video game. I feel that way too, but overall, it's an amazing game.
Did you have a specific? So Trent, like you, I have a brother, and it was a family gift for us. Did you have a specific controller? Because we did, where it's like, no, I play with this color controller. My brother played with this color controller, and the other two were for friends that were visiting.
I don't think so. I think we were just pretty standard. We just had a couple of those gray controllers that we switched, and nobody really had their own. No, we didn't have that.
That was a big fight in ours because we had like remember the clear purple? Like it was like clear purple. That was mine. Like my brother touched that. It was war.
I had a gold one that came with GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
The gold cartridge as well.
Yep.
Yes.
I remember going to Troy Gleason's house, and they got a family present, N64, for that Christmas, and just the number of buttons on that controller, like the fact the Z button was behind it.
Yep.
8-year-old Eric, like he couldn't process it.
The little joystick you had to use with your thumb. And
Does anybody remember the game Jet Force Gemini?
No.
Oh.
That is like lost in the annals of time, but I remember really wanting that game and then getting it for maybe a birthday or maybe the next. I think it was my birthday. And it was like the greatest game ever, but nobody ever talks about it anymore. But I was obsessed with it.
This doesn't ring a bell at all.
I know. I get a lot of that.
It's weird too with 64 where the hype, like what you were given far exceeded the hype too. Right?
Yeah.
Correct.
It came in like an unassuming box, and it was a big deal when you got it. and people were excited. But I don't think people really knew that you were embarking on like what was like the greatest console ever.
And
The games were just that good. Like they were just so much better than anything we'd ever played before.
Yeah.
I also feel like that was the first thing that became 3D. Like Sonic and like kind of every game on Sega was just like a 2-dimensional thing.
Yeah.
And like so, Sega was great too with like NBA Jam and whatever, but going to N64 was like, holy shit. Like,
And there's 2 extra controller slots, so 4 people could play. It was just a big community.
The Rumble
thing.
Pack.
Yeah.
Rumble Pack, yeah.
Rumble Pack.
There's a documentary about GoldenEye on Amazon Prime. It runs a little long, but it's about like this game developer company in just the middle of nowhere, Ireland, I want to say, or like just like the sticks of England, and how they made GoldenEye into the best game ever. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it meant so much to sleepovers. Like I feel like a youngster listening, like you can't really do justice on how much the 64 meant to.
A very much had to be in the moment type of thing for N64.
All right, we're going to take a quick break to talk to you guys about having better sex with BlueChew. BlueChew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. These erection-enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger, harder, longer-lasting erections for sexual activities. Be ready when she needs it and get your first month of BlueChew free. Great sex is only a few clicks away. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. BlueChew chewable tablets are made in USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part? It's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. BlueChew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That is the mission. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of BlueChew free when you use promo code DOGWALK and pay just $5 in shipping. Again, that's promo code DOGWALK, one word, DOGWALK. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank BlueChew for sponsoring this podcast.
Okay, you're up again, Reags.
I think I'll go news. I think that's another category that's not overly deep. I'm between 2. I got to stick with it. I think the Olympic bombing was the biggest story of '96. You know, it's got made into a movie. Obviously, the whole Richard Jewell situation. It was obviously in America, in Atlanta, and again, it's the Olympics, and we had a bomb go off. So to me, I think that's the biggest news story of '96. I'll take that.
Yeah. I never saw the movie, so
fantastic movie.
Yeah, I never got like the refresher on it since I never saw the movie. But
you should watch Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
I've been looking for it recently, and I can't find it streaming anywhere.
Really like that guy, Paul Walter Hauser, I think is his name.
Yeah, big wrestling guy.
Yes, really, really good actor in it. They completely tried to fuck the guy. It's actually a fascinating scenario outside of the bombing that like people tried to like pin this on the guy.
That and went to like the massive Atlanta newspaper and how that all and the news stations, how that all it's if you like history and not the conspiracy is the wrong word, but like trying to pin it all on him only for it to be another person was that. So I thought news is kind of a weak category, so that's why I went there. Like I said, I thought there was 2 and that's the biggest one.
Having said that, I don't remember this at all in real time.
0.
Really?
I do remember.
I don't.
I remember
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, see, this is one that sticks out to me from a news one.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Chief. Like I'm aware of the event, but I don't know anything about it, and I really haven't gone back and researched it at all.
It's my first memory of terrorism. I mean, that's a ridiculous thing to say. But it's my first time that I was able to process that there's people out there just like blowing other people up.
Because I remember there was a debate. Like I vividly remember like asking my dad, like, are the Olympics still going to go on? Because I wanted to watch. You know, that was the height of just watching random sporting events as like a family because it was on prime time in America, and you had 30 channels. So it's like, oh, we get to watch this event tonight. So that's what, like you said, one of my first vivid memories of like something bad happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Nate, you're up.
Ooh, there's 2 that I really want. Ah, fuck. Um, I'm gonna go fad and take Tamagotchis.
Ooh, good one.
I mean, I could give you the song and dance about Tamagotchis. I don't know. Like, I guess our younger viewers, the Go Press Go crowd, might not be aware of just how dominant Tamagotchis were in their time. You had to take care of that thing. You had to feed it. You had to play with it. It was the original looking down at your phone. You had to constantly be on your Tamagotchi to make sure you weren't killing the damn thing. They took over the world for probably 9 months, and I haven't seen one since. But they were everything in 1996.
Yeah, I mean that's a great pick. That was definitely on my list. It is hard to describe. Like you explain it to somebody what they are, and they're like, "That's kind of the dumbest thing I've ever heard." But it wasn't.
Wasn't.
And then the evolution of that. I don't know if you guys were into this at all. Was Digimons. I was big into Digimons, where you could fight the. It was the same concept where you'd take care of them, but then you could connect them to another, like your friends, and you guys would fight. But yeah, no, Tamagotchis had a very serious run in 1996, and I feel like it was even longer than 9 months. I could be wrong about that, but they were everywhere, and everybody had them.
They were huge.
Yeah.
I didn't have one.
My sister
no?
had one, and I didn't understand it, so I didn't really.
I had a Digimon, but my sister had the Tamagotchi, and it was just like they all came in different colors, right? Like the Tamagotchi, you could get like the case in a different color. Yeah.
I mean, people like you would try to bring it to school and feed it during class. They had to ban them from school. Whole big thing.
Yep. Good pick.
Yeah, good pick.
Good pick.
And there's kind of a run on these, and I have one, and I have another one that I don't think you guys will let me have. Is your board thin too?
I don't know what that could mean.
What, the one that might not be allowed?
Yeah.
I'll talk about it on honorable mentions because I'm going to take this here. And what is your list thin too, Trent, in the fad?
I'm fucked with fads. I'm fucked. If you take what I think you're going to take, and I know you're going to take it, I'm in real trouble here.
Yeah, I'm taking the Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. All right, I'm glad I did that then.
I'm in trouble.
Didn't necessarily want it there. But yeah, the Tickle Me Elmo was a Titan. It was like the first real toy that I remember that like people would go. It was like the basis for I mean, came out this year, so I technically can't talk about it. But
You can talk about it.
Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
The basis of Turbo Man. Like you'd go to stores and nobody would have it. It was pandemonium for this fucking Elmo that liked to be tickled.
Yeah.
It was the biggest Christmas gift of like all time.
Ever.
I think it still is. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like it holds records.
How does that happen?
Parents would just have to line up at the store at Toys R Us.
And like, how does I don't know who's in charge of making Tickle Me Elmos, but how do they know how many to make?
They didn't make enough. They had people fighting in the streets over the damn thing.
But that's part of the appeal. It's same thing with the sports cards we were talking about. You oversaturate the market, people don't give a fuck. But if you only make 60 and send them to Walmart or whatever, and it's like the first 60 people are getting these, and then everybody else is just going to fight each other. So I think that sort of demand, and there's got to be something with like I don't remember the commercials that were running for Tickle Me Elmo, but there had to be something where it locked into a kid's brain.
That's what I mean. Like, how did people even find out about them to make it this?
It has to be that where the kids see it and then they're like, the kid goes to the parent and is like, my life is going to end if I don't get a Tickle Me Elmo. If I'm one of the losers at school who don't have a Tickle Me Elmo, that's going to be brutal. And then the parents are like, all right, I got to go fist fight people at Walmart.
I think it was all word of mouth. Like I remember so weird what you vividly remember from being like 8 to 10 years old. I remember seeing the Today Show with like Matt Lauer and Katie Couric talking about the Tickle Me Elmo mania. And that's always stuck in my mind. And there was no social media or whatever. Like, I don't know why it got so popular, but the marketing geniuses behind Tickle Me Elmo, give them a raise. I just, this memory of Matt Lauer and Katie Couric talking about Tickle Me Elmo lives in my brain.
I wonder that now, like as a parent to 2 young kids, like I don't think we'll ever have a run of like a Tickle Me Elmo at Christmas where I have to like October line up outside a store and buy something to make sure like my sons have it for Christmas. It's like we just go online and order whatever. And like I feel like they don't run out of things.
The only thing that I remember running out of recently or that had run out were like PS5s. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
where they didn't exist and people were going crazy. but that's the closest thing I can think of.
Yeah, but in terms
Toilet
of
paper
toys,
during
like,
COVID.
yeah, well, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But like kids' toys, they just have, I feel like, in bulk everywhere now online.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's not possible to happen again. Like it's just something needs to.
I'm sure it will. It's just hard to imagine like what it would be.
Yeah, something needs a break right. If Mr. Beast said he was going to put like an entry into his next game into his
Yep.
doll, like people be lining up for that too, you know?
That's right.
But just the Wikipedia page is so funny. Like 2 women fought over a doll in Chicago. One was allegedly purchased in Denver for $7,100. There was an auction that went for $18,000. There was a midnight clerk who he was unpacking. Robert was unpacking the latest shipment of Tickle Me Elmo when he became uncomfortably aware of a crowd of about 300 people watching him carefully. He opened a box, pulled out an Elmo, and the crowd stampeded down the aisle. He was trampled. He suffered a pulled hamstring, injuries to his back, jaw, and knee, and a broken rib with a concussion. Like that is crazy.
Yeah.
It's Willy Wonka's golden ticket. There are people like, I'll give you $10,000 for this Tickle Me Elmo.
Well, it's like you guys said. That's Turbo Man. That's what Jingle All the Way. That's what that movie is.
Yeah, it makes me think I got the number one fad. I think this was it.
Yeah. It was either that or Tamagotchis, and I think it's Tickle Me Elmo.
I think it goes.
I still think it's N64.
I think it's Beanie Babies.
I think it's Beanie Babies.
No, but I don't like if we're boiling it down to a year, like nobody owned 96 like Tickle Me Elmo. If you want to say like the staying power and like what had more influence in society, sure.
It's Beanie Baby for sure.
I don't think it is. I think
Tickle Me Elmo owned the biggest holiday of '96. It wasn't like a year-long thing.
Tickle Me Elmo get a documentary made about it 20 or 25 years
Probably.
later?
Yeah, I mean everything gets a doc, so I think that's a bad argument.
I know what the number one fad is, and it's going to be what mine is now. Like I'm fucked in this category.
I do think there's one more massive fad out
there. There is a massive fad on the board.
Okay.
I hope it's the one that I have on my list because it's the only one I have left.
All right. Well, you're up, Trent.
Oh, I hope it counts too. All right, my fad.
Yeah, it counts.
Does it?
I think so.
My fad is DVD players.
Oh, that's not what I had.
Not where I thought you were going.
That's all I have on my list. I hope that counts. But I
know
believe
what, Trent? We'll count it.
Fuck you. I believe DVD players came out in 1996, and it's just the evolution of like, oh, we're not doing VHS tapes anymore. And I remember same with the N64, where I like maybe we got them in the same year. Were we rich in 1996? That'd be amazing. But I remember getting a DVD player, and I remember I think Road Trip was the DVD that came with it, and that was like bang, that blew my mind too. And yeah, it's like, I don't know, DVD players. That's the only fad I have left. So you guys kind of backed me into a corner on that one.
You can have it. It looks like the first DVD player was released in Japan, November 1996. So you're just under the gun for that.
That was the same for Tamagotchi too.
Was it?
Both of these didn't come to America until '97, but hey, we will let it slide.
You have it. I do have a vivid memory of being like, people being like, you have to watch Independence Day on DVD. Like those blue lasers are just way better on DVD.
Did you guys have the dual VHS DVD player that they started selling?
Yeah.
I remember vividly sitting in that in my parents' living room.
Yeah, I think this is actually a good pick because you had to have one.
Yeah, everybody had one.
That's right.
By the end of '97.
Fuck.
players.
Good
Great
pick.
pick.
Hey, Trent.
All I know is
good pick, Trent.
The 2 VHS Titanic came out in 97 or 98. I don't think Barstool Nate had a DVD player until at least the 2000s.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess
we didn't have it like the Ryan
remember
thing.
that too. I remember having the double Titanic in '98. What year did that movie come out?
97.
Yeah.
All right, Chief, you're up.
I'm taking the 96 Bulls, the 72-10 Bulls, the greatest basketball team of all time, the greatest player of all time at the peaks of his powers. That felt like a record that would never be broken. And they hang the banner at United Center. I think it actually caught on fire during a recent concert, along with several other championship banners. But I'll take the 96 Bulls.
Yeah, it was hard for me to pass on that, obviously.
Yeah,
it's a great pick.
But yeah, the 72-10 Bulls, I think that was
And they were like a cultural phenomenon too. Like obviously that was detailed in the Last Dance, but like with Rodman and they were like the, what would you call them, like the Beatles. Like everybody had to go see that team
For sure.
I remember, I don't know if it was 96, but it was definitely a cultural phenomenon. And I remember begging for Michael Jordan's cologne. Like that, like they would sell.
Yes.
Dude, that's, you want to talk about like having an impact on culture where it's like, yeah, we love watching the games. Like the posters are great. The playing card, the sports cards are great. I want his cologne. And I like, that's a whole other level. So yeah, I mean, that's a great pick.
I had that too.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that was high on the sports list.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Mother's Day is this weekend. You guys need to be prepared. Mother's Day gifts can be a little predictable and a little bit boring. Not this year. Get your mother an Aura frame. Dave's got it. He's holding it up right now. He's got the wire all tangled, but it is a digital picture frame. You can load up all sorts of your family favorite memories right on there, and they just cycle through. Aura frames comes with unlimited storage, so you can share as many photos as you want from your phone to your mom's Aura frame. Not only will she be grateful, she'll probably cry. She'll probably cry.
There's nothing more I love than to bring my mother to tears.
Yes, in a good way. So she'll be grateful. It's not another gift card. She'll also love that Aura frame means she gets to see more of you, David.
Love more of me.
Yeah. So I have one. I got one as a gift. They're great. I just cycle through pictures of George and good memories and my family and the nephews. So make sure you're getting your mother that for Mother's Day too. It has a great Mother's Day deal. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. They're great. They fit on any desktop, or any table, any desk. They're perfect. That's Aura Frames, AURA frames.com. Promo code DOGWALK. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply.
You are up again.
I'm gonna take a news story. I'm gonna take Tupac getting murdered.
Yeah.
So the Tupac shot was in Vegas, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, and like the who did it, is he even dead? It's still like a conspiracy theory now. We're like, nah, he just pieced. So Tupac getting killed was like a holy shit moment that happened in 1996.
And is still like relevant, I feel like. People, I mean, I don't know. We never really got an answer. I mean, it's one of those where it's like, we don't know. And now there's all this crazy Diddy stuff that's come out. I mean, Suge Knight, you start digging into that. It's a whole other thing. And I mean, that was crazy that happened.
That was my top news story. I think you're getting tremendous value there in the third round. I was between that and for my first rounder, to be honest.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge.
It was.
People still talk about it.
Well,
that was the second one that when I said I had two news stories, it was the Olympic bombing, and that was what I was debating.
Yeah.
So, good pick.
Yeah, good thing you went with Hogan turns heel instead.
I'm fine with that. You just know nothing about wrestling. That's a good pick.
I defer to Nate.
Nate's wrong. Like, Nate is wrong.
I'm trying to be a glue guy here. I'm not trying to.
Nate's
I'm not
wrong.
trying to carl this draft.
If you think Tamagotchi is big, I don't want to talk shit about it. But
what you got to say about Tamagotchi? Don't lash out on me.
I stopped from lashing. I literally held myself. But you're not like you not selling Hogan turning heel is crazy. But Trent, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna go news story as well because that's gonna get real thin too if I don't. But I think this is a pretty good pick. The Unabomber getting arrested.
Yeah, good one. It was on my list.
Obviously, I mean, I don't know how many documentaries people have watched on that, but it's obviously one of the crazy stories ever. He goes out and lives in bumfuck Montana in this weird little shed, and he's just sending bombs all around the country. And it's like, we got to catch this guy. I'm like, where is he? What's he doing? And then they finally caught him, and that's one I don't remember happening in the moment because I think I was too young. But going back and looking into it, like that's just a huge thing that's going on in 1996.
Yeah, I think that was a huge story.
Another one I don't really remember.
I do remember that,
but I'm not saying it's bad or wasn't important.
It's also one that's transcended time. Like you say Unabomber now, you just immediately know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's not. You don't have to like ask any details about it.
Yeah.
All right, I feel good about that one. That's not DVD players.
Another one that's still like kind of
so bad.
Shut up.
relevant because they're like now it's like he was part of that like MK Ultra stuff. So it's like he was a government creation gone rogue, like a bad Jason Bourne.
Right.
Do you remember the actual capturing? Like, do you remember? Like, was it? I'm sure it was all like news choppers and shit.
I do remember like CNN stories about that.
Yeah. I'm up. I exhaled there because I thought you were going to take my news story. JonBenét.
Yep.
That was 96?
Yes, dude.
That didn't come across.
December of 96.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
I really thought that's what you were about to take, Trent, so I got nervous. I think JonBenét is.
That's a bigger story than I remember that more vividly than I remember Ted Kaczynski.
It's still like the biggest whodunit in.
I didn't watch that documentary either.
I watched it.
I watched it. Yeah.
It is nuts. Like, it's insane. People are still wildly interested in it almost 30 years later.
I love the conspiracy theory that it's actually Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that a thing that people say?
Yeah, people are like JonBenét Ramsey is actually Katy Perry.
Yeah. So
That's one there's so much stuff now, and there's so many just murder documentaries that like you got to pick and choose and how depressed you want to be. Like, do you want to be depressed 7 days a week? Like, I just haven't worked that one into my rotation. I know it's a very famous case, and they still don't know who did it, I believe. So, but I know that's a good pick for a news
After
story.
watching the documentary. Who do you think did it?
I don't fucking know.
Really?
And that's why I think it has.
It's still so open.
I know. Like, that's why I don't want to like. It's weird. I'm trying to dance around how I talk about it because it's such a fucking tragic thing.
Oh yeah.
But that's why I think it has kind of stood the test of time and why people are still interested in it, because there's so many avenues of people who it could be, and there's so many things that went wrong in the investigation, and it's just nobody knows. Nobody. I don't think anyone has a fucking clue who did this.
Damn.
Yeah. It's like darkly fascinating, obviously, to try to find out. But yeah, I honestly considered that in the first round too. So I'm thrilled.
That's a strong pick for sure.
Good pick.
Huge. Nate, you're up.
Oh, boy, I don't know how I missed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's upsetting me. I really like that pick. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go song.
Here we go.
Ooh.
I thought this is what you guys were talking about. I don't know if it counts. I'm gonna take it as a song and take the Macarena.
I had that. I was thinking as a fad.
I
That's
also
a song.
think that could have been a fad.
Yeah, true.
It's by definition a song.
No, it's also a song. But if you took it as a fad, I would not have objected.
I said I had 1.5. I had the Macarena dance as the fad. So,
Yeah.
Oh. Can that still be taken?
Macarena.
I mean, everyone's got a fad, so it doesn't matter. But
True.
Yeah, I don't need to tell anybody with Macarena. It's one of the few. I mean, it's like the cha-cha slide in the Macarena. It's a dance that we still do 30 years later.
Do we do it 30 years later? Do we do it?
You ever been to a baseball game? They play the goddamn Macarena.
Okay.
I like when you turn into Southern Nate. That's great. I'll tell you what, you go to a baseball game and we're still doing the Macarena. That's for some reason you throw a little twang on it.
Yeah. He's like a Savannah Banana season ticket holder, apparently.
Dude, they just sold Clemson Stadium out. 81,000 people to watch the Savannah Bananas.
yeah,
I've never been to a Savannah Bananas game, but I would go. Has anybody ever been to one?
No.
I'm not. They're coming to White Sox Park, and tickets are crazy expensive. Like, it's
Yeah, you have to
sold
enter a
out.
lottery to get a ticket.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it's
Yeah, it's like Taylor
crazy.
Swift.
I would go for sure.
Savannah Bananas. But
Yeah.
Macarena, I think biggest song of 96,
Okay.
time, etc.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
mean,
good pick.
it's definitely 96.
What's that mean, Eddie?
It's just definitely 96. I don't know. Like, that's.
Macarena.
I mean,
It
granted,
dominated that summer of 96.
yeah, like we have had our dance trends since then. Like,
Gangnam Style?
yeah, Gangnam Style. Like, I was at the New York office last week, Nate. You were trying to get a Harlem Shake going there.
Was
So
I?
yeah, it's just, things definitely happen. The mannequin challenge. I know Reags is a big mannequin challenge guy.
Oh yeah. Live for that.
T-bowing.
Yeah, T-Bow. Like, they definitely
T-bone,
still happen. But
Twanking.
Macarena was the only one that might get slipped into a wedding. You're not going to hear the Harlem Shake at a wedding.
But I
You
feel
know,
like
what? I guess the Y. What's bigger, YMCA or Macarena?
YMCA.
YMCA.
Way bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a good pick.
It's an interesting question, but I do think it's YMCA.
And I feel like I don't hear the Macarena at weddings. You still get like the Cupid Shuffle, Electric Slide. You get those. If you're gonna get a line dance, it will be that and not the Macarena.
That was all do not play at my wedding. I said any song they told me how to dance, do not play.
Oh, really?
Smart.
Oh, I welcome the instructions.
Oh no.
Eddie knows. Eddie and I were just at a wedding together, and I ran out of moves 2 songs in. I was like, I said that to KFC. KFC, I was next to KFC on the dance floor, and after the second song, I leaned in and I was like, I'm out. I got nothing left.
No moves.
But I stayed out there because I wanted to be involved.
Right. It's not about like I have 0 moves, but it's just I hate those songs that tell me how to dance.
I was definitely hammered, and I've been having like posts like Irish guilt about it. But I remember they're sitting there because we've talked before, Trent, about how like we don't like concerts because we don't like really know how to dance and we feel awkward dancing. And I remember seeing the dance floor. I was like, I got to film it for him and show him it's not bad. And I did that, and I pulled the tape from it, and then I'm realizing that's so fucking weird that I was just filming him dancing. But
No, I'm glad I got like a third person view of me out there, and it's not great. It's just
no, but it wasn't bad, and that's all I was doing was trying to show him like, hey, dude, it's not bad. Like I'm trying to get us over our fears.
No,
Stay out
appropriately
there.
Dancing at a wedding's tough. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Wait, say that
I
again.
don't know, man.
It's like the old Hitch. Like you just stay in this area.
That's exactly right. Concerts are harder for me. Concerts, I just want to stand there and look at the stage. Like I'm just there to enjoy the music. And when people are dancing, people are free to do whatever they want. But I want to be free to do whatever I want, which is literally just stand there and be like, "Wow, I love this person's music." But that seems to be like a weird thing.
I wish it was more that way too.
Yes, with the option of sitting down.
Are you saying, Trent, like when someone pulls you around and you lock eyes and you're singing the same lyrics to each other? Like you know,
I'm just not that into. I'm not into that part of it. You know, I really love standing there and admiring the artist and their work.
I'm with you. Macarena, actually, back to the Macarena. When the lady sings, it's not bad. I think that's where it kind of throws me off. Like it's kind of a banger. You don't want me, you can't down. Da, 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 da.
All I know is that hey Macarena.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of. I don't like the guys for her part of it. Reags, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna go with sports. That's close to my heart, and it's this piece of shit, Jeffrey Maier.
Oh.
Reaching over. It's the only reason Derek Jeter had a good career. He absolutely changed the trajectory. Then I had to watch. Like, I was 9, and that was the first time I swore in front of my dad, and he was just like, "I get it." As an Orioles fan, so. And then he got paraded around on all the talk shows. The Yankees obviously end up going to the World Series. The Orioles are the Orioles. Jeffrey Maier changed 2 franchises with one play, which was illegal.
What game of the series is that in?
Game 1.
Oh, so what are we talking about?
But it's still like it was Derek Jeter's homer. It was Tony Tarasco standing there waiting for the catch. That was in one defining moment, I think, like of sports in '96. Like a kid gets paraded around and is on talk shows because he interferes.
No, I think this is a good pick.
It's a good pick
because you're looking and you're like, hey, like you could take the Yankees. Like, sure, there's maybe that's like a Hubs pick, but you could take it for the first championship that they won that run. But the moment I think is bigger because this guy.
He's the reverse Bartman.
Yeah, he's got a Wikipedia page.
Yeah,
like know his name. I couldn't tell you the guy's name who just chokeholded Mookie
D3
Betts.
college baseball.
I didn't know that Jeter hit it, but I knew Jeffrey Maier.
Yeah,
so Jeter hit it. And in terms of just like it was like I was trying to think of individual moments in sports, whereas like obviously the Bulls' entire season is memorable. There weren't a lot of memorable moments. Like I was looking at even like golf majors and things like that. So I'm taking Jeffrey Maier. It's still to this day. I think most like casual baseball fans, if you say Jeffrey Maier, they know it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pick. Wasn't on my board, but that's a good pick.
That's one I missed too, but I like it.
I think it's a good pick. Yeah.
Oh, and then movies, songs. Man, songs is deep. I'm gonna go songs. I'll take "Crash Into Me" by Dave Matthews Band.
Interesting pick, Reed.
Nope, that was on my list.
I like Dave Matthews. I love the song. It was one of those, like, my dad had the cassette and would listen to it in his car. I feel good about that. It's still, you can still hear it today, and I still get a little excited hearing it pop up.
Dave Matthews is good.
Yeah.
I can't decide. Are we still in the era where you like have to apologize for being a Dave Matthews fan? Because I love Dave Matthews.
So do I. I never understood why he got hate.
He like got connected to like the
Coldplay treatment.
Yeah.
No, not even that. Like something about like it had to do with Colorado. I feel like everyone's like, oh, we're outdoors. I don't like. It's what it felt like. You're biking around, you're doing outdoor activities, and you like Dave Matthews. Like I feel like that was like a Family Guy. Like how they conveyed a Dave Matthews fan. It was weird. I like Dave Matthews a lot.
Trent, I do zero of that stuff, and I like Dave Matthews.
Trent, I feel like you're outside, like you're Chicago adjacent. Was going to Alpine Valley for Dave Matthews Band like a rite of passage for people in Iowa too?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was definitely a thing. I never went, but I know a lot of people who did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huge.
Hershey Park, where I
I also saw Jack Johnson at Alpine Valley.
Nice. Oh, they're great.
But
I recently went to a Jack Johnson Spotify rabbit hole. I missed
he rules.
Time. Yeah,
he's amazing. But Crash Into Me, that's a really good pick.
It's a massive song. Like it's
Huge.
still
put it on a mixtape to your crush, 100% of the time.
Damn right.
Oh,
yeah.
And the live, I love the live version of where he throws in the little extra lyrics. So
I'm gonna listen to Dave Matthews on the way home today, and I'm gonna really enjoy it.
Damn right you are.
Stunned to find out that it did not make the Billboard Hot 100 singles of '96.
It came out late. It was like late October.
Oh, okay, so it didn't.
Because I went through it. There was actually like that's where I was confused with I looked at like the '96 like top 100, and some songs were from '95. Like there was a Hootie song from '95 like in the top 30, but it was released in '95 but still playing in '96. So
makes sense. Okay, Nate, you are up.
What do I need to take?
I feel like I haven't picked forever. I always feel that way when I do these.
I just want to talk about songs for like an hour. There's so many good ones.
We can do that for honorable mention.
Did I do sports?
I'll put you in the queue for backstage.
You need.
I think they're still doing it. That wasn't a joke.
Oh,
on how it was canceled.
Felt like a shot.
No. I think they're still doing it. I think they're still doing. I don't want them to think I'm taking. I don't want Dante to be outside my window.
Dante the Don. Oh, God bless him. Do I need to take sports and biggest story?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I'm going to take for sports. Let me know if this doesn't count. God, there's three I want to take. Muhammad Ali carrying the torch at the Olympics.
Okay.
Interesting.
That was a big moment where he was like shaking with because he had Parkinson's so badly.
Besides the bombing, rest in peace, it was the biggest moment of the Olympics. I thought that could be taken in the first round. And I'm not just pumping my pick. I was worried that I was undervaluing it because of how legendary of a moment him lighting the torch. Also, the whole 96 Olympics, I know Reags tried to take it as a whole. It was very like decade defining for America and like having the Olympics in Atlanta, like, and it was also like a Title IX Olympics thing where they finally let like women compete. So it was like a pretty big deal. And the Muhammad Ali with, who was shaking, lighting the torch, just a pivotal moment for America.
I think that definitely counts. And I didn't have it on my list and I didn't come across it in my research, but when you said it, I can picture it. So that's like, that goes a long way.
Yeah, same. But I had two like other individual moments from the Olympics.
I do too.
On my list, but when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, and it was a surprise, right? Like it didn't come out until late that Ali was going to be the final lighting the torch, which I think that played into it too. Everyone's sitting there going, "Who's it going to be?"
Yeah, it's going to be like Logan Paul for the LA Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay, it's
you have no file on that?
Not really.
I do.
I don't know why.
I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm not saying it. back to me. I'm gonna go song as well. This one didn't really pop until '97 because I was stunned that it wasn't on the Billboard 100. But regardless, it was dropped in '96, and I think it doesn't. I think it defines this time period well. It's "Wannabe" by the Spice Girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still
Huge.
a
great
good
pick.
song. Still a good song. Would welcome it at any wedding wherever.
Yep.
It gets people going. And like I said, if you bury the time capsule, I think this song's in it. So.
They were so huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
Yeah,
Really,
Baby
really
Spice
good pick.
changed my life. Like formidable age Barstool Eric. He saw Baby Spice, things changed in that brain.
I
That's
never
right.
thought any of the Spice Girls were like that hot in real time.
Really?
In real time, yeah.
Who got the most fanfare from that perspective? Was it Posh or Ginger?
I
Yeah,
mean,
Posh.
Posh, because she was with Beckham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Baby Spice was right up there, though.
She was second, I'd say. I'd say it's Posh and then Baby were like the clear top two attention.
Man, the Spice Girls were. That's another one where, I mean, you have big bands now and big groups or whatever, but like that was one where it just was fucking massive.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, they were. I feel like you don't have like the girl bands now, do you?
No, yeah, I was thinking more like One Direction and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
female, you don't have a ton of that.
No, there's iconic boy bands. I feel like for girl bands, are they like the only?
Um,
In terms
Sing-
of just pop, are you saying?
Destiny's Child.
Destiny's
Yeah.
Child would be a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
TLC.
TLC, yeah. So that's maybe it's more of a '90s.
No, it's
thing.
few and far between. You're not wrong. Like
Yeah.
Pussycat Dolls don't really count. You know,
Right.
it's like whatever. Little Mix. I am sure nobody here knows them.
No, I was trying to think of Pussycat Dolls, but I couldn't come up with the
Yeah,
name. So
there's very few.
Yeah.
There's very few.
That's
It's a great pick.
a shame.
Fifth Harmony.
Thank you. Trent, you're up again. Your wait is over.
That's huge. I'm gonna go sports for mine. 1996. Tiger Woods turns pro.
Yeah.
Hello World. It's the start of just the greatest golf career of all time. And
Was there a
you-
moment?
No, it's, well, I mean, it's
turning
just him
pro
turning
is
pro.
a moment.
I declare pro. Like
He said,
No,
well, there's a
it was a big thing because
Was
there's
it?
Yeah.
dude, there's a famous press conference where he literally says "Hello World," and he won
The
a bunch of USAMs back to back to back. Like people were waiting for, and then people were waiting for it. So that was a big
yeah,
deal.
it was
Okay.
like maybe not quite LeBron hype, but like people knew about him. Like he was coming.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I mean,
And
again,
then he
had
won
one
the
on-
'97 Masters, right? That was his first Masters.
Yep, and he did it. He ended up winning in '96 too, not the Masters, but he won his first tournament. And it was like, all right, now we're gonna get this thing going.
Yeah.
And then the Masters was really his like holy
So
shit.
that's my starting point on Tiger lore is that Masters. I would watch the final round at Rocky Run Tap and Grill in Columbia, Maryland. And so I have a very vivid memory of Tiger, but not of him turning pro.
There's a very famous press conference where he starts it with "Hello World," and
I'll look
it's
that
like a holy shit. So,
What was the other option? He goes back to college?
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
he was at Stanford.
yep. So
And he did win a PGA event, I believe. That year.
in '96 he did.
Yeah. So it wasn't like it was just an announcement. Like he burst onto the scene, even though
Yeah,
it
because
wasn't.
he
a
went
major.
from he won the U.S. Amateur, declared pro, and then won his first
Yeah.
tournament all within I want to say like a 3-month time span.
And I
It was short.
wasn't
Yeah,
he
it's-
also by the time he was winning the Masters, he was already like Nike, right? Wasn't he already like signed
Oh,
with
he was
Nike?
Nike right off the bat.
Yeah, so
right
like,
away.
he was like already turning pro, like the face of golf. It was coming.
Okay, yeah, I don't think it. I mean, I was so young, but because I remember all of the LeBron stuff, obviously, but like I don't remember all of the hype. But and then for him to be so good right away, like
Yeah.
that's really, and the Masters lit it on fire. Like that
Yeah.
was like holy shit, this is crazy. But it was still a big deal for him going pro. There was a huge press conference and everything.
I'm kind of surprised the Hello World isn't
Yeah.
more talked about. Like it's like more of a slogan associated with them.
I think they might have used it in one Nike commercial, if I'm remembering correctly. But I'm with you. That's such a cool
Right.
like way to come onto the scene.
He was 21 when he won that first Masters. Like he was,
Yeah,
yeah.
crazy young.
I gotta watch that presser.
Yeah, I just have no memory of this.
It's a good one.
He's wearing very baggy pants.
Yeah, I'm
There's
looking.
everything was pretty baggy back then.
Fad.
Chief, you're up.
I'll go song. And this was my first CD, so it's maybe a little sentiment. The song list is so deep, but I'm going to take Santeria by Sublime.
Good one.
Great one.
Good one.
On my list as well.
Mm-hmm.
Still today, that gets into my rotation pretty frequently.
Yep.
Yeah, Sublime's awesome. That whole album was great.
So good.
Definitely a song I think of White Sox Dave now, though.
Ugh.
Why?
Just because.
I mean, like, you could say that about a million songs.
Just like when he got his $6,000 audio equipment.
system,
Yeah, he got
yeah.
a $6,000 sound system, and I just like.
He
really
uses that for Top Gun and for Santeria.
Yeah, I just picture,
Yeah.
you know, back to Santeria, go Sox! Like,
He's been in Italy for a month now, huh?
Like, probably a week right now. I think he gets back on Sunday.
yeah, he gets back. Yeah, week
And he's just on vacation?
Yeah,
week and a half. Yeah,
Nice. Good for him.
proposing to his girlfriend.
No shit.
No, he's not.
that's what.
Congrats to Mr. and Mrs. Dave Williams.
That's what Big Cat.
Can we clip that and put that out so when he gets home, he's like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, well, we did that bit on the stretch too. So we were just
Big Cat's like, oh, he's proposing, huh?
Be real awkward if you didn't.
All right, David. It's golf season. I think while we were gone, we kind of arranged another challenge for you versus Ed for golf. You're both going to be looking good because you're both going to be wearing Rowback. Rowback activewear is the absolute best. We all know how much we love Rowback. Rowback has been on a tear with new product releases, and we're here for it. The Rowback Huddle Hoodie. I love the Huddle Hoodie, by the way. It's a different material than their traditional Hezzy hoodie that you've gotten to know. It's made with cotton poly blend, so it's warm, but it still has a nice stretch to it. They're amazing. They're perfect. We've been wearing them this basically every day. It has a kind of a lifestyle feel to it. Rowback also just released their new Sprint joggers. These joggers are designed for both activity and comfort. Go to the bar, you can work out in them. They're great. The fabric is super light, has a nice stretch, ultra soft feel. The ideal Saturday jogger when on the move, and the Sunday jogger for when you're just chilling watching football. Finally, Rowback's glide down jacket that's perfect for this time of year where you just don't quite know what the weather's going to be in Chicago, especially. The jacket makes everything perfect. It's worth it. It has a baffled build with down filling, so it's warm, and that fits great. It's easy to move in and has an internal and external pockets too. Some may say they've thought of everything for this jacket, David. Did you get yours yet?
I do have mine.
Okay.
So while Rowback is traditionally a golf brand,
Yep.
it's
everything.
also a
It's
great
activewear,
travel
baby.
brand too. If you want it, if you're on the way like to go to Europe or something, it is the best possible clothing brand you can consult.
You can wear Rowback really anywhere.
Literally anywhere.
And you, if you use promo code DOG on Rowback.com, you get 20% off for all new customers through the end of the week. It's only for a week, so get on it. Promo code DOG. That's Rowback, spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all hoodies, joggers, jackets, and more with the code DOG. So check that out, Rowback. I wear it probably 6 days a week. I'm wearing the joggers right now.
I'm wearing it just as frequently.
Yeah. So, again, Rowback, the absolute best. We love them. Check them out.
Okay, you are up again.
I'll take my for movie is tough. I want to go like things that were important to me.
Do it.
I'll take Twister.
Nice.
Nice.
Twister was my first PG-13 movie in the theater.
Got out Helen Hunt.
Yeah, Helen Hunt. That cast was kind of sneaky. Philip Seymour Hoffman was in it. And then what was it? Who's the main actor?
Bill Paxton?
Bill Paxton.
Paxton.
Yeah, they had a pretty good cast.
As a guy from the Midwest, a genuinely terrifying movie.
Oh yeah, big.
Just
time.
like this is fun because this could happen to us.
Yeah.
Luckily it never did happen to us, thankfully. But it's like this is possible. So yeah, no, it scared the shit out of me.
Do
It
you guys
still
have
gets me going a little bit when it's like the air gets still and the skies are like the sky's a little like green almost. You're like, oh fuck. Yeah.
Do you have a drive-in movie theater?
What's that?
Do you have a drive-in movie theater in your town?
No.
We had one. Or like
had one.
it was right down on 64.
All-time terrifying scene.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
I gotta say though, so I watched Twister for the first time last year.
Okay.
before Twisters came out because I wanted to be caught up.
Yeah.
I think Twisters is better. I
Second one?
Yeah, I didn't love the first one,
I
but
haven't
like,
seen the second
but
one.
I also
haven't
like,
seen the second.
I very much acknowledge it was 96 is when the time to watch it. Like I was late, so it's on me. I'll take the ownership.
I feel like I've seen it since. Like I feel like I saw it like within the last couple of years. It was on Netflix, maybe in anticipation of the new one coming out, and I still liked it.
Yeah, but like you've seen it before, so you already
A
it already
nostalgia
holds
factor,
a good place in
maybe.
your heart.
But I remember the first I had gone like 10 years or so in between seeing Independence Day, and I'm like,
Not
this
as
is
good.
not what I remember exactly.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it only gets better.
My brother-in-law's favorite movie of all time,
I do.
Twister.
Smart guy.
Twister, really?
Wow.
That's odd.
Every time it's on.
Who's in the new one with Glenn Powell?
What'd you say?
Who's in the new one with Glenn Powell? Like I completely forget who's in that besides him.
I forgot her name, but
It's the girl from Star Wars, right?
but she was good.
Okay.
Oh,
Crazy. Daisy Edgar Jones.
Kiernan Shipka, who I don't know who that is.
But I was just thinking with what Chief said about like how the cast in '96 is sneaky loaded. I almost wonder now, like 20 years from now, will we look at the
Yeah.
Twisters cast and be like, oh wow, that's like kind of the same thing, just being outside of Glenn Powell, who's already a megastar.
Kiernan Shipka was the like the little girl in Mad Men. I feel like that's the only other thing she was in.
Okay.
Trent, you need a song.
Okay. Deep category, as we've all alluded to. I'm going to go with No Diggity by
Great one.
Blackstreet.
Yep. Trent, I had you penciled in for either this one or another one where I was just like, Trent's going to take this.
It's such a deep category. I've still got 5 or 6 on my list that I would have been really happy with. But No Diggity was number 1 for me. So I'm very happy to get this one. Really, that song, you listen to it and you get transported back to 1996 fully. And it's a great song.
Yeah, it is.
Pick. It's to me, I need a movie. This will certainly get me voted off the poll, or the poll by Chief. But this is a monster in '96. It revitalized the horror genre. I'm going Scream.
Why is that getting you voted off?
He doesn't watch it, so it's a bad pick. So
I mean, Scream.
I can respect the pick. I'm not a horror movie guy, but I respect. I mean The Mask, like it's an iconic movie.
yeah, The Mask is huge.
I'm voting you off for Hogan Turns Heel, not for this.
That was a good pick.
Dude, but seriously, Scream, that's on my list for sure. And if I didn't get Happy Gilmore, I think I would have gone Scream. Just even if people are like, "Oh, I don't love that movie" or whatever, like that's a pick for me because that movie fucking rules.
It's awesome, and like I said, like at that time, like Halloween, like they were rehashing Michael Myers. They made so many bad sequels. Same with Freddy. Same with Jason, and it would like came in like at the perfect time. It did really well at the box office. They like pulled the dupe on everyone with Drew Barrymore in the
Yes.
trailer, and then they killed her right away. It's a culturally massive movie, especially for horror, which is a top genre still.
It's a horror movie about horror movies. Like that and I didn't realize that when I first saw it, but it's like it takes all the tropes. It's like a meta movie. And you watch it when you get a little bit older and you realize what they're doing, because then you go back and watch all the old ones and you're like, oh, they're kind of making fun of the old generation and now they're starting a new one. It's a great movie.
Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Dude, that opening scene with Drew Barrymore is terrifying.
Horrifying, dude. Like I still can't watch it. Are you kidding me?
I went like a week where I freaked out if our home phone rang inside. Like I'd be like, oh
Like, dude,
God, dude, I'm getting killed.
The first 20 minutes of that movie are so good, they could be their own movie. Like it's its own movie.
Yeah. What's your favorite scary movie?
Scary movie.
Yeah.
So that's such a good
Scary
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
By the way, Scary Movie holds up so well. It's
I love that movie
extremely
too.
funny.
I love that movie as well. Yeah, and they're still making them, like I said. So
Yeah.
They are still making them.
yeah. Nate, you're up.
I think this is my last pick.
It is.
Oh, I'm so excited for this one. I need a news story, and I have 2 on my list that I am excited to take, but I'm going to take the one I'm more excited for. Dolly the Lamb cloned. Does that ring a bell with anybody?
Yeah, I think it was a
Definitely does.
sheep.
It was a
Oh,
sheep.
what did I say?
Lamb.
You said lamb.
Oh, no, it's a sheep. But
Dolly the sheep. Yeah, I remember that.
In 1996, I mean, that was a true "where were you" moment when it's like we were talking in school at the lunch table like about cloning when you never even heard that word before, and then they just made another one of this fucking sheep. Gigantic story.
I'm a guy who during this whole draft I've said I don't really remember things from '96. Dolly the sheep for whatever reason broke through, and I very vividly remember that happening.
Because it sounded so fake. Like you just made another thing of this thing. That was impossible back then, and now it's just like, oh yeah, that happened. But back then, it was.
I'm almost woke on it. It's too perfect of a name and cute little animal. Like I don't know what was going on in government, but Dolly the sheep being cloned, was that supposed to scare us or make us feel like comfortable? I don't know.
People were scared about it. They're like, this is a slippery slope, and they're going to start cloning humans, and it was like a controversial thing.
Well, I'm actually more scared of it now because I feel like the cloning community has been pretty quiet since Dolly the sheep happened. Like, if you look at the progression of like, all right, this happened in '96. Now we're 30 years later. Imagine what they're doing behind the scenes that they're not telling us about. Like, I think they got too much pub for Dolly the sheep that they're like, all right, we got to calm this the fuck down, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep working on this.
This isn't even a hot take. You're a dumb person if you don't think they have cloned humans at Area 51. Like, they cloned a sheep 30 years ago, and you don't think they've done a human yet? You're dumb if you think that.
Well, I think Area 51, they would do it somewhere else. There's no way they're doing it.
Dinosaurs out there, dude. They're doing everything.
I
think
like
they would have moved
China
locations
project,
by now.
although they don't need more people. But
I don't remember this at all.
No,
Dolly?
we just talked about it last week with the Michigan
Must have
State
flew
guy.
over my head.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
It's a good one.
Like National Enquirer had Dolly on the cover.
Yeah, I remember in school having like Time Magazine for kids or something, or National Geographic for kids, and it being on the cover of that.
Did you guys have SI for kids?
Oh,
Yeah.
Good
Buzz,
kid, Mag.
Buzz Beamer.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy rocked.
I weirdly remember Cordell Stewart being on one of those.
Yeah.
Slash, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Reags, you need a movie.
Oh yeah, it's deep, but just give me. I'll take Jerry Maguire. I mean,
Yeah.
Good one.
it's a great movie. It still holds up. Everyone still knows. Show Me the Money. I rewatched it recently and held up better than I expected.
Oh, it's a very good movie.
But it's just one of those when you watch it back, like a sports love combo movie, where it was just like, is this how much of it's going to hold up? And it held up. And Rod Tidwell is a great wide receiver name and character.
Yeah.
Bro, more.
I thought his dance was a little excessive.
Like,
but in the '90s receiver, like don't
Act like you've been there. Hand the ball to the ref. Let's go.
It's coming out of the U.
What a take to have about a fictional wide receiver in Jerry Maguire.
30 years later.
Hey.
Jerry Maguire coined, "You had me at hello, show me the money, and I love you, you complete me." That's
True.
bang, bang, bang.
Yep.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Big.
Really good.
You could write one of those on the mixtape with all the songs we're about to list for your crush in '97.
That's monster.
I will say I wrote 6 movies, and we picked the top 5.
I think there's one movie, and I'm not going to say it. I think there's one movie people are going to be like, I can't believe this didn't get drafted.
Well, let's get into it because now we're
Yeah,
honorable mentions.
Are we done? I
Mr.
couldn't remember.
Kick it off, Trent.
We're doing honorable mention?
Yeah. What's the movie?
Space Jam.
Yeah.
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 My
I think
6th was That Thing You Do.
no.
Great. I love that thing you do. I think that's a great movie.
Yeah.
I have
Over Space Jam?
Space Jam was one that I was debating. Then I had Tin Cup, Black Sheep,
Black Sheep I had.
Cable Guy,
Yep.
Biodome,
Yeah.
which is just I used to watch that movie nonstop. Celtic Pride and Kingpin.
The Kingpin was on my list.
Trent, any other movie honorable mentions?
No, I just had Black Sheep other than Space Jam. That we didn't. We took all the other ones. I had Jerry Maguire. We got most of them.
Yeah, I was between Space Jam and Scream for mine. I have 3 left movie-wise. Matilda was fucking awesome.
Wow. I didn't know that was 96.
Yeah.
I love
Matilda Bangs.
Yeah, I said Jingle All the Way. I mentioned that. Not draftable though, but and then I had The Sleepers. If you guys never seen it, watch Sleepers. It's an awesome underrated movie.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
The Rock. The Rock.
Oh.
The Rock was 1996. Fargo Fargo is 1996. That's a great movie. And then Swingers, Vegas, baby. That's, I don't think I was looking up like a top 100 for grossing. It didn't make the cut because it was like a little indie film, but that's a movie that was very good, has staying power.
Let's do sports now. Reags, any left?
I mentioned the Olympics. I had Carrie Strung winning the
broken
gymnastics
ankle
and getting carried off.
Yep.
Michael Johnson with the gold shoes in the 200 meters, setting the world record. Kentucky, the 96 seems like generally considered the greatest college basketball team of all time, winning. MLS, it's the first season of MLS. The Browns moved to Baltimore, and Magic Johnson came out of retirement.
Good ones.
Trent,
I think Carrie Strug should have got taken. That's
when I mentioned the Olympics, that's where I was kind of leaning, where it's like, she was on the Wheaties box, and like that whole gymnastics team was like massive for that time.
You got anything left, Trent, sports-wise?
Sports-wise, I just had Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl. That was a big deal to 7-year-old me. I was obsessed with the Cowboys when I was younger. And then I had this was a pretty thin category for me, honestly. And then I had Allen Iverson drafted first overall.
Yeah, it's good.
So with that, the other fad that I had was like the super baggy shorts, which is I associate that with AI. I thought that if I got desperate on fads, I was going to take that. Other sports one, the World Cup of Hockey, I know that wouldn't register, but that was awesome when it happened. And
that was the first one, right?
Yeah. And then Marge Schott was like, so racist red zoner who like hated other women, Asians, kind of almost everybody.
Yeah.
And then she was like, Hitler, he's all right.
Yeah.
So problematic. And they took, I think she inherited the team from her husband that passed. And then baseball was like, we're taking this away from you.
Do you have any more sports, Nate?
No, I had the golden shoes and the Carrie Strug vault. I think the Carrie Strug vault is pretty big. I don't know if that was it was between Muhammad Ali and the Carrie Strug for me.
The only last one I had was Tyson Holyfield won, but
I saw that.
That's a good one,
the ear bite was the second one. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Fads. Are there any other fads available? I had nothing left.
I
had nothing
left.
I wrote flannel.
I had Furbies. Remember those toys?
I do. Those things are creepy as shit.
Yes. Discovery Zone.
Ah.
Did you guys have Discovery Zone out in the?
Did that come out in that year?
96. They partnered with Warner Brothers, I think it was. They partnered with somebody in 96 to set up, make a even more within Discovery Zone.
Are you talking about like the indoor theme park?
Yes.
DC Discovery Zone?
Yeah, it was like
kids can laugh and play on their own.
It was like a Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing.
Yeah. I know the song. I didn't know that was a fad. I didn't even know other people had them, to be honest.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
These were the best, Trent.
Blue M&Ms. They had like a big campaign to see what was going to be the next color. I remember.
Oh yeah,
that's a
great one.
I remember caring about that. Yeah.
Great pick, Chief.
Really good.
And then I had starter jackets, but I think that's just like all of the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do biggest story before we do songs, since there's a million of them. I had Clinton getting elected.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was my last one.
I had one other one. It was Elian Gonzalez.
That was that year too.
No
that was
way.
a good one. That would have been a good one.
It was
that
between
should've gotten
Dolly or
picked.
Elian. I mean, the picture with the guns and he's hiding in the closet is a very famous
Yeah, it's
picture.
an iconic picture. For some reason, I didn't I didn't think of that. But yeah, that would have been a good one too.
I thought it was cool looking all this stuff up. Like we were saying, the Atlanta bombing. Like first time I knew that like people got blown up. The Elian Gonzalez, like you learned about Fidel Castro and people had to like escape their home country on a raft, and it was kind of like a whole new like thing that you put in your brain, like, oh, not every place is America. I remember us kind of learning about that.
Yeah.
One other one I had was Lyle and Eric Menendez were found guilty in 96.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Lewinsky hadn't broken yet, but they had moved her to the Pentagon because they're like, you're sucking his dick too much. So,
dude, Elian Gonzalez.
Elian Gonzalez. Probably.
That should have gotten picked 100%.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on, but I remember hearing that kid's name all the time when I was little.
That and Clinton were the only two. I had written 6 down. Those were the 2 that went undrafted.
Dude, where's he at now?
That's good.
Ellie, I think he's just chilling in Cuba.
I think he's back in Cuba.
Probably like the king of Cuba.
He's an engineer.
Nice.
He's an engineer and politician.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. I had the year wrong. Wasn't 96.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I apologize.
99.
I feel
It was 99, not 96.
great. I was going to say that's one that's a huge whiff.
Yeah,
by
I'm
us.
sorry.
Massive.
No, I apologize. I don't know why I got it must be dyslexia. It was 99, not 96.
I saw something with him in 96 too because I had it written down.
Fuck. Then why am I seeing 99 everywhere now?
I show 99 on Wikipedia has 99.
That's a win for this group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not November 99.
And they did have to take a raft. They show the chart here.
Huh.
All right, Nate, you want to kick off songs?
If I didn't take I was listening to so much Celine Dion last night, by the way, just going through all the songs. But I think a big miss was Alana's Ironic.
Yep.
Yeah. But that one was released in 95. The album came out in 96.
Ooh.
So as a single, it was
That could've been a
95.
big,
So
yeah.
Okay. The other, I mean, I'm sure we could list songs forever. I have Champagne Supernova, Long December, Don't Speak, which is absolute banger.
Great
Machine
song.
Head, and Santa Monica.
Yep. I mean, Mariah Carey had.
I was debating Always Be My Baby.
Yeah.
Always Be My Baby, and the one with Boys to Men.
One Sweet Day.
One Sweet Day.
Gangster's Paradise, Coolio. I could probably still, if the music comes on, I could probably still do maybe that whole song.
Great
Do
one,
it.
yeah.
Do it. Come on.
California,
Well, we can't. I don't want to get us sued.
California
True.
Love.
California Love.
California Love. Killing Me Softly by the Fugees. I
Yeah.
love the Fugees.
Mm-hmm.
One Headlight, Wallflowers.
Yep.
Thought about it.
Pony, Genuine.
By Genuine.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Just a Girl, No Doubt.
Yep.
And then Who Will Save Your Soul by Jewel.
Oh, good
Came
one.
out in 95, but
Oh, really? Okay, I had a
Ooh.
different list then.
yeah, because that's why I think you got, if you read Billboard, they don't all come out that
Okay.
year.
Okay.
Ironic was 96.
I looked it up while we were doing this. Ironic song release date 1995.
What in the? I'm looking at February 27th, 96.
That was the album release.
Mamma mia. No,
The other song, Trent, I thought you might take, besides No Diggity, was The Crossroads by Bone Thugs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I had Hook by Blues Traveler.
Blues Traveler.
1979 by Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
And Counting Blue Cars by Dishwalla.
Hate that song.
Yeah, another moment for Don't Speak. I feel like if we all hopped in a time machine and it dropped us off at a random bar in 96, I feel like there's a
It's no doubt.
85% chance that song's playing.
Yeah. I had If I Ruled the World by Nas. I had 3 a.m. Matchbox 20.
Oh, great
That was
one.
96.
That couldn't have been.
I hope so. That's And then I had Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison.
Yeah. Confirmed
96.
3 a.m. 1996.
Yeah,
Yes.
music's hard to figure out because, like, even like you said, 1979 that came out in 95. So it's like,
Oh, did it?
yeah, I don't know. We're all over. Regardless, there's a
I'm
lot of
seeing
fucking
96
good
and 97 now for 3 a.m. October
Yeah.
97. I don't know what the fuck.
Who knows?
But great song. I'm glad it got attention.
All right, let's read them off. Then we'll vote someone out of here. Chief, Beanie Baby, 72 and 10, Bulls, Tupac, Murder, Santeria, Twister, Trent, Happy Gilmore, DVD players, Unabomber, Arrested, Tiger Woods turns pro, No Diggity, Eddie, Hogan turns heel, Tickle Me Elmo, JonBenét Ramsey, Wannabe, Scream, Nate, Independence Day, Tamagotchi, Macarena, Ali carrying torch at Olympics, Dolly the sheep cloned, Reags, Nintendo 64, Olympic bombing, Jeffrey Maier incident, Crash Into Me, and Jerry Maguire. Write it on a blank text, write it on a piece of paper, whatever you got to do.
I forget this part. I forget
You're
what I
voting
did.
who you
You're
think
voting
had
who
the
you
worst.
think had the worst one. What was that?
No, I can talk about it after.
Reags, you're first.
I went with you, Eddie.
Okay.
I thought you could have got wrestling later, and that threw me off.
Yeah. Well, we got to look at the full board. Let's make sure.
I know that's what
Let's make sure we do that, guys.
I did. I thought you had 3 phenomenal picks.
Yeah, I think that's a lot. It's a lot of good picks. So, like, if you reshuffled those, like, it's fine. We should do.
Correct.
We should look at the full boards for sure. Nate,
But you're paying the most money to the second overall pick.
that's fine. Sometimes you get the most production out of the,
Out of the reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nate.
Tickle Me Elmo saved you for me, Eddie. DVD player sunk.
Oh,
I mean, DVD players weren't common until like 2002. I think you took it the day it was created, not necessarily when it was popular, which is what a fad is. So I have to deduct you for that. I'm sorry.
that hurts.
Trent, who'd you take?
I went with Eddie. I think I was just kind of following the herd on that one, and I do think you did. And again, we should focus on the whole board, but I think picking a wrestling thing that early when there's 2 guys on this draft who don't follow wrestling, I think that was a miscalculation. I'm looking at the whole board, but that was detrimental for you.
Yeah, no, I get it. You get penalized for people not paying attention to certain things. I voted for you, Trent. So it's 2-2, Chief, and then Chief's going to vote for me.
I wish I could vote for you.
This is crazy.
But sadly,
This is crazy.
sorry, Trent.
Dude, every time I come on this fucking draft, I'm never in the vote. Every fucking time. You can go back and look at history. I literally think every time. I'm not included in the vote, and I always get taken off, and it's like crazy town.
I think the third round, well, second and third rounds, and maybe fourth round was kind of tough for you. When Eddie went, I like Ted Kaczynski, but when Eddie went JonBenét Ramsey, that was a way bigger story to me.
I don't know about that.
To me.
Yeah.
I remember that more vividly being like captivating the nation.
Wow, Chief was objective for one.
I'm always objective.
Oh,
I'm always objective.
So much so I think there's a conspiracy theory against me on these drafts.
No.
I think you guys don't want to put me on the vote because I'm
know
going
what?
to win.
If you want me to resign so DVD players could be on the voting poll, then fine.
Which I don't think is a good move because I think you crushed this.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
You had a very good draft, Chief.
Yeah, Chief, you had a really good one.
It's like I'm fascinated when Trent was ever going to make the poll like that.
I feel like we gotta have Trent on like next week until we have Trent's on every week until we make.
It doesn't matter because you guys are conspiring against me.
I don't
not
think
put
we
me
are.
on.
I think you just took Subway. I think it was in the fast food draft.
It's well,
No, that
well,
was in
first
the
of all-
smells draft.
First of all,
he took some way the smells draft.
we don't talk about the fast food draft, and you know that.
Yeah,
all
true.
right.
Sorry, my apologies.
This is it's I'm just I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
And I think it was the cookie draft you got booted from too. Was that it?
This is crazy. I don't know.
I'm trying.
You're acting like you're just looking this up now, but I know you're like, all right. There's a text with Chief, Reags, Nate, and you that's like, all right, let's make sure Trent doesn't get a vote.
Hey, I voted for Eddie, Trent. I tried to save you.
No, you're trying to knock me off the scent. I know what's going on. I wasn't born yesterday.
He's our decoy, yeah.
I wasn't fucking born yesterday.
That was the first decoy. That's why Eddie had me go first.
Honestly,
right.
that was an upset of the century. I just threw mine out there to make it interesting, and then like he votes for me every week, so that's why I thought
You have.
Sure.
Gee, I wonder what's different about this week.
I don't vote for you every week. I vote
Pretty
for you when
much.
you're the worst, and you are typically
No, guys,
worst.
watch the baseball draft. It's honestly the craziest thing of all time. Clemmer took the COVID season of 2020, and somehow I lost it. It's the biggest injustice in the show's history. It is. But regardless, I won't. You guys got stuff to do. So do the listeners. All right, guys, thank you. This was actually really fun.
Yeah,
I
enjoyed
It
it
was always great.
until the end. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed 99% of this.
All right, guys.
We should put a playlist together for 96 songs.
Yeah. If we don't know what one is, but we'll try. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. That's it for today. We'll see you all tomorrow.